What's up, guys? Today the Bayou Dragons are going to be at 1701 Barbecue, top 50 barbecue joint in Texas, made the Texas Monthly. We're going to go out in the back, check it out. We're going to eat some good food, talk to the owners, and have a good time.
I suffered the day and the last 25, killing my time, killing my spine, chasing these lines. I find popping come easy and love be the heart.
And welcome back to episode 30 of the Bayou Dragons podcast. Today, I am sitting in with two new friends, acquaintances. I've been talking to them for a while. Travis Cox and, Derek Ray.
D-Ray.
You got
D-Ray. D-Ray? Or is it D-Ray?
You can shorten it to Dre.
I'm going to call you Dre. It's all about Dre today. We are sitting down in the local hotspot barbecue joint, 1701 Barbecue in Beaumont, Texas.
Welcome, by the way.
Well, thank you for having us. Before we even get into anything, y'all are going to see this on the camera. That is fucking beautiful in front of us. This spread you have here: brisket, ribs, chicken, sausage. With the sides, everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
You personally made this for me, DeRay?
Yeah.
I made it.
Ribs, turkey, brisket, all the meats you see.
You made that
Yes,
strictly
sir.
for me. Thank you for that. Me and Travis had been in contact for a while. He kind of liked what we were doing, so he was like, well, I wouldn't mind doing a podcast with these guys. They're not that douchey. So
Cool.
and we have mutual friends,
Yeah.
Jay Bruce and Tyler Blunt, and that's where I met you first,
Yeah.
at a previous podcast
Yeah. At the brewery, I think.
at the brewery. Make sure you're talking to that thing right there.
Right there.
But anyway, so we finally got connected. We've been trying to do this podcast for a while, and y'all will be able to hear the little bit of ambient noise in the background, but that's because we're raw and uncut inside of the restaurant. You'll see it in the opening scenes. So, but anyway, let's get into it. First, Travis, tell me about yourself, where you're from, like you're married, you have family, all
Yeah.
that, your upbringing.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Groves. Graduated from Port Neches in 2002. I've been married for 15 years, and I've got two boys, Case and Mason, and they're 10 and 7. We just started baseball, so here we go.
Just started baseball.
Yeah.
You coaching them?
No, just kind of help on the side. Season is back in full swing, so.
Hell yeah. And you, DeRay?
I'm 37.
30.
Turned 37 on Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice. Happy 37th birthday.
About to have my 3-year wedding anniversary, and have a 7-year-old daughter who turns 8 tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Hell yeah.
Had to look at my watch. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, that's good. And you grew up around here too?
Yeah, I went to high school in Lumberton.
You're a Raider.
Yeah, Lumberton. Yeah, 4A. Live in Mid-County now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Travis, what did you do before, we started getting into this barbecue?
Yeah, so, immediately what I did is Jake, who's on the block, his handle is QTexas on Instagram. That's where you can find him. I was working with him in construction, so we're remodeling houses and stuff like that. So it didn't take too long of that to know that I wanted to get into something like this. As a matter of fact, Jake and I, we were on our way to doing something similar, but this opportunity presented itself, and I was able to get Jake on board. So here we are today.
Was it going to be crawfish?
Yeah, it was going to be a hybrid of barbecue and seafood. Jake obviously was more on the smoke side of things. I'm more acquainted with the seafood side of things. That's my background. That's my passion. And but then this happened, so here we are.
Yeah, and you are doing a damn good job. DeRay, what'd you do before this?
So, right here behind us, my dad owns a repossession company. When people default on their car notes and loans and stuff like that,
You would serve them?
we would go pick their vehicles up.
Were you like Seth Rogen on Pineapple Express? Would you dress up in different costumes and go and serve people?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they're on their deathbed. It's like,
Sorry.
well, sorry about this, but you've been served.
You're not going to need that car anymore anyway.
How'd y'all meet? Like, I mean, have y'all known each other for a minute? I mean, 'cause-
Probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
oh, so it's a relatively new love.
Yeah. I got introduced to Travis when my wife and I were looking for, what do you call it, an officiant?
A minister.
A minister for our wedding.
Oh, you're ordained?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah,
Travis.
that's the longer
Yeah.
backstory. We can get into that
Yeah,
later.
we will. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's how we first met, over a couple of beers at Nature's Brewing Company, and we were like, hey, you're the right guy for the job.
Yeah, you have a nice beard. I want you to marry me
Yeah.
and marry my wife.
Yeah.
So, 3 years ago, how long 1701 been open first off?
This is year number 3.
So,
We opened right in the middle of the pandemic, 2020,
okay.
December 2020.
So, you got DeRay on board before it was even,
So
1701.
no. So it was actually the opposite. You want me to tell you the story now?
I mean, we can kind of get into it, the start of it, or, I mean, dude.
Yeah, I mean, so D-Ray got me into it. We barely knew one another. I met him and Kara. I did their wedding. We wanted to hang out, but the weekend of their wedding was when Abbott shut Texas down, and that's when all the country was shutting down for COVID. So nobody could go anywhere really, nowhere to go. Couldn't hang out with anybody. We didn't know each other that well yet. But anyway, I see him post something about 1701, so I hit him up. What's this about? He says, go talk to Blue, and kind of the rest is history.
So you weren't on board, like you weren't a forefather of 1701.
So
I mean, I guess you were, but you weren't. They already had the name.
they had the name, but I wasn't there at the inception, I guess you could say. But we were all there prior to the doors opening, well before the doors opened.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we first got in touch. I really think DeRay was the first one that messaged us about it's almost been probably a year ago.
It has, because it was last summer.
Last summer. And did you just see us online, DeRay? And
Yeah, I liked y'all's, everything y'all were posting looked really good. That's something I like to look out for online, when things look professional, top-notch. I was like, who are these guys? Oh, wow. They're from here, and their stuff looks great. You know, it sets yourself apart from the middle-of-the-road type of stuff, and that attracted me to you guys. So
hell yeah.
felt like reaching out.
Yeah, the weird me and Mitch have been talking about it. Like, we're trying to do more of like these kind of podcasts. We're sitting down with, business owners and pit masters, and we've had tattoo artists, we've had brewers, we've had baseball players. Trying to keep it for everybody. So
Sure.
That's kind of what we're here today for. But I really want to know, DeRay, what pushed you to start cooking? I mean, so you used to serve people, but did you used to barbecue your ass off during that time?
So
Or-
I think becoming a dad, becoming a husband, I just kind of fell into that, I don't know, what do you call it, like domestic lifestyle. You're on the back porch cooking. And
New Balances and jorts.
oh, that's
and,
it, yeah, khaki shorts.
Yeah, I bet you have so
Beer
many
belly,
pairs.
stuff like that.
You've kind of lost your beer belly from what I've heard. I
Yeah.
don't know you. This is the first time I ever laid eyes on you. And
What-
you're
what do
a
you
specimen.
think?
You're a specimen.
like it?
Between y'all two and the beards, I am extremely jealous, and I really look like a bitch sitting right over here. I'm wearing my glasses because I can't stop staring at how exquisite they are.
Nice.
No homo. But anyway, keep going. You're a dad, and you learned how to cook.
Yeah, and it was just something I enjoyed doing out in the backyard, a few hours before the sun would go down or into the night. It just felt nice, felt right. And I developed a passion for it, where I found myself in my off time YouTubing, watching other guys barbecue in their own backyards, something that I was doing, and it just resonated with me. When you find yourself doing something in your off time, like on your own free will, I was like, how could I make that into something that
I wanna do.
Yeah, for a career. And then I caught wind of Blue Broussard, the owner, wanting to open up this barbecue restaurant. And I graduated high school with his wife, Rachel, and I immediately messaged her. As soon as I caught wind, I said, "Hey, you guys looking for any help?" And she just immediately responded back, "Hell yeah!" And so from that day, I just kind of took it a little bit more serious each day that I did it. And, I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed it, but I also became good at it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here snacking while you're talking, and this shit is fucking good. I've had it before, too, which I've never, like I told Travis, I've never had it fresh like this. I've always had it like y'all brought a bunch of stuff when we did the podcast with Tyler, and then I had it somewhere else, and it was fantastic.
Nice.
It's always fantastic, but this is...
You were asking what I was doing earlier. I switched from my dad's company to work here because I had just gotten married, just found barbecue, got passionate about barbecue and enjoyed it. And what I was doing prior, I was good at that as well. I just didn't quite enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm going to do in my free time at home. I'm not going to go repo cars and trucks.
Yeah. But you can cook.
And it's not also something I would post on Instagram. Hey, I just took this lady's car.
Yeah, I just stole this bitch's car.
Yeah,
Man, who wants it,
Now I can cook barbecue and feel good about sharing it with you, the world, whoever.
Yeah, dude. And so you're technically a pit master.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have no clue. I'm dumb to all this stuff. So pit master, how do you get that title?
I think it's when you can learn to control live fire and produce quality meats.
Do you have a certificate?
You're not at the mercy of the pits and the wood and the fire. The flames are at the mercy of you. I think you can,
So you're a firebender.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Avatar.
You're at the mercy of the elements. The density, the moisture in the wood, the weather, the way the wind's blowing. The pits.
And down here is very hard because it's always humid. Like today, it's just a humid son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
And you're out there just slanging it.
And sweating.
Yeah, well, you are sweating profusely.
I'm better now.
Yeah,
I'm good.
You look good.
I'm more relaxed.
Was there like a certificate that you got for being a pit master, or is it just...
Yeah, I think it was all the banners hanging up. I think that was my certificate.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I didn't know if there was like you had to take a class. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I can keep this at 400 degrees for 8 hours without wavering from 5 to,
Just being able to hold the job, I think, is the certificate.
Yeah, it's self-evident, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So, are you, Travis, are you a pit master, or are you just a pretty face?
That's not my title really anymore. I will stay with the pits here and there, but I've kind of moved into the GM position. That kind of fits my strength a bit more. But cooking is always a passion. That's how this started.
Yeah.
But that's not my title anymore. I would defer and say, Jake and Derek, they're our pit masters.
Hell yeah. So,
and Betcher in the back, and we've got a couple of apprentices that are working as well. So
yeah, shout out to Betcher and Smitty and Colton. They've made life a lot easier lately.
Right. Especially Betcher, referring to the time that he came in to come be the closer, just really lifted a lot of stress off of us. He actually likes that time period, the closing shift, and that makes it easy for us, to be able to get in, do what we have to do early in the day, and then allow him to come in and close, and we can go home and get ready to start it all over again the next day. He really came in at the right time, and Smitty and Colton came in, just doing a great job as well.
How'd you find them? Did they just show up, or were they from the beginning, or is it like a newfound,
Colton just hit us up because we said that we were hiring, and then how did we find Smitty?
Smitty did the same thing.
Did he do? Okay.
Yeah.
So he did the same thing.
Yeah, Betcher, he was more into barbecue before he started working here, and so he was always kind of looking for an in. And once he saw that we were hiring, he was knocking hard on that door, And we're grateful for that because there's not like a line of people wrapped around the building to sweat it out all day.
Yeah, no, y'all have a badass little setup in the back,
Yeah.
for sure. With
And
all
if
the
it
pits.
wasn't for them, we'd be doing the podcast back there because I'd still be having to
Yeah, no
throw
doubt.
wood in and rotate and keep an eye on things.
So how many pit masters are there? 4, 5?
Yeah, let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're all in a way. I mean, whoever, like right now, I'm not back there, so whoever is back there running things, they're the pit master.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Just that dude.
I mean, there's a title, you know, pit master, lead pit master, and stuff like that. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're doing what you need to be doing back there, and we're all happy with it, and the customers are enjoying it, then you're a pit master.
Hell yeah. So, so where we're at now, off of Calder Avenue in Beaumont, Texas, is there any kind of landmark just so I can
MLK.
MLK
Yeah, and the railroad track.
MLK railroad track? If any of our Southeast Texas listeners, if you've not been to 1701 barbecue, had it, or even heard of it, for sure got to come here. Has this been like the original location since day one?
Yeah, this is it.
Nice. I had no clue. I was like, I don't know. But so before the barbecue, you said you were trying. Were you like persistently pursuing a seafood? Like you were cooking, making etouffee or whatever the hell you're doing?
Yeah. So I mean, that just comes. That's my background. That's my family. I have 2 aunts that really inspired me, even from a young age. We would go over and eat, and just gumbo, seafood gumbo. That's really what started my passion. And then when I got into college, I was one of the only guys that would cook, and everybody would be blown away. They're like, "Man, this is awesome." But I'm like, "Well, yeah, because it's not Taco Bell. I mean, it's food,
I do like Taco Bell though. Like
Yeah.
I'm pissed they took it away from Winnie. That's where I lived like 3 minutes from Taco Bell.
There's a time and a place, right?
Yeah. Usually 3 a.m, whenever I'm drunker than a skunk.
But yeah, I just started cooking food and just actively noticing that people enjoyed it, and so that connected with me pretty deep, and I just wanted to continue to do that. So
Yeah, you can definitely tell. I'm sitting here looking out, and this isn't a huge place, and you have every single table's basically taken up. Like there's 30 people in here right now just grubbing down on barbecue.
yeah, we're super appreciative.
And y'all sell out almost every single day, if not every day.
Yeah, almost every single day. We're not going to sit here and say that, without a doubt, there's never a day that we don't have food at the end of the day. But fortunately for us, we do sell out most days.
Because I'll see your posts, like, because y'all are open, 11 to
11 to 2, Tuesday through Saturday.
11 to 2, Tuesday through Saturday, and it's like, I've seen multiple times, it's like 12:30, and you're like, sorry for the inconvenience, but we have no more meat.
Right.
And it's like, holy shit, they are fucking slinging it.
Yeah, those days happen. And a lot of times it can be related to special events, or, we're right here around, Southeast Texas refineries and plants. And sometimes those guys will come in and get larger orders, and you know what that's like.
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's what I do for a living. That's all the guys I was telling before I got off on my 7 days off, I was like, I'm planning on doing a podcast with y'all, and they're like, dude, 1701, that shit's so fucking good, I'm like, yes, it is. It's very good.
We appreciate the feedback.
Oh, yeah. We're going to definitely be blasting this all over the social media. Derek, so what was your first meat that you fell in love with? And don't take that in what did you learn? Like, what was what got you into, liking it? Because
It's got to be brisket.
brisket?
Yeah. I'm just taking road trips to Austin and hearing all the stories of my friends, out of high school who have all moved up there. A lot of them moved up there talking about how good the barbecue is. When you get that first bite of perfectly rendered fat with some salt in there, just pepper crusted bark, smoke, if you've never had it before and you travel up to the hill country and you have it, it's kind of life changing, or it was for me.
Yeah. And
I wanted to know, like, it's not something you just throw on hot and fast, you know. So for the time and effort and all the elements involved to be able to perfect something like that was just like, you know, I'm looking past that bite. I'm looking at what went into it. And
yeah, well, there's a lot because I would be lying if I said I could cook a brisket. Could not. And that's fantastic. I can definitely judge one because I'm not a huge. Most brisket I usually have is like drier than freaking shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's nice, moist, has good flexibility.
Yeah.
I think that's one of y'all's tests, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like the
old bend test.
bend test, like that shit's freaking
Pull
that
apart.
shit is tender, yes. But I am a I am not even. I wouldn't even call myself a barbecuer. I'm like I throw ribs on.
Yeah.
Boudin,
That's fun.
links,
Yeah.
you know, like. But I like doing the ribs. My wife likes ribs,
Yeah.
so I cook the shit out of ribs. But I can't even cook chicken like that. You know what I mean? Like that shit's beautiful.
Yeah, I still enjoy cooking when I leave work, you know, because I'm not under the stressors and pressures that I am here. You know, service time, got to be this, got to cook this many of this and that. At home, you know, it's like, let me try something new.
Does your wife ever demand something? Like
She loves the turkey.
so? She,
Yeah,
just because your wife said that, let me go ahead and
yeah, do it.
grab a piece of that while we're talking. So this is what she tells you to make.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
pretty
Hey,
good.
hey, DeRay. I'm gonna need you to come over and make some turkey for me and my wife.
Okay.
That shit's. You know what? Thanks. Do y'all do? Like Thanksgiving and shit like that? Like cater?
Yeah, we every year we do turkey and brisket and ribs for Thanksgiving and for Christmas.
I'm gonna try to get if I'm working Thanksgiving this year for work, I'm gonna try to get us catered 1701 for
Yeah,
work.
yeah, do it.
That shit is fucking good. Like for real.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get you. I guess we could have got you a fork and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm nasty. It don't matter. It do not matter. But so like I literally today is the first day I've met these guys, so I have no clue about y'all's background. Like, what are hobbies? Do you hunt? Do you fish? Do you? I'm sure y'all grew up around it, you know, Southeast Texas. I didn't know if, you know, what do y'all like to do? I mean, I know y'all like to cook, but
Yeah, so I grew up hunting and fishing. I would say that in past years, recent years rather, my passion has kind of shifted primarily to bass fishing. I'm out as much as humanly possible bass fishing, but I got two boys, and so my oldest, he killed his first deer a couple years ago. He shot another deer this past year, so he's grown up around it too. But yeah, anything outdoors, man, that's what we do. Even if it's just putting the boat in the bayou and just going up to Pine Tree for lunch and then coming right back and going home.
do you ever do Sandbar Sundays?
No, man, I'm not getting in there. I don't get the appeal. I mean, I'll go to the river
Yeah.
and do it all day, but I mean, I just don't see the appeal.
You don't
of
do the
bayou.
Taylor's Bayou?
No.
That's fair. That's fair.
No shame on anyone else who does.
No shame. I do it occasionally. But for me, I like going on Saturdays.
Yeah.
No one's there on Saturdays.
Right.
So like
Right.
me and Mitch and Tanner and everybody will go there and start our own thing because on Sundays there's 70 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Way too many people.
Yeah.
But so what lake do you fish? Rayburn, Toledo?
So if I get a chance to go out of town, I'm Rayburn 100%. But I don't get that option. But we have all this. We have the Sabine, we have the Natchez, we have Taylor's Bayou, we have Hillebrand. So that's where I'm at most of the time, is in Taylor's and Hillebrand, because I can be there on the water within 10 minutes of leaving my house.
Oh yeah.
There's just no reason for me to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, I can catch redfish, crabs, crappie, bass, catfish. I mean, it's literally all there, right there in the bayou.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's done it all. I usually don't bass fish I do a lot of bass fishing. I usually don't do it on the bayou. I usually set jug lines, but I never know what the fuck I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a grinnell. I'm going to have a redfish. I might have a bass, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah, we've seen it all, man.
Brown eye.
Brown eye.
Brown eye. What do you do, DeRay, as a, you know?
As far as
Do you have hobbies?
hunting and fishing.
Or, I mean, not even hunting and fishing. Like, what do you like to do? You look like you can play guitar.
What do I like to do? Yeah, I did grow up playing guitar, bass guitar specifically. But yeah, I traveled in bands growing up. Most of my summers and school years were playing baseball year round. I did go on a few like hog hunting trips. Never really appealed to me. I do like fishing. My parents have a camp at Rayburn. Grew up having fish fries at Rayburn, things like that. I enjoy being out on the boat. Travis will take me out on his boat. Hunting, I never grew up with that. My dad's not a hunter. He was my dad, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to oversell him, but whatever circuit was around whenever I was born, he was doing it. He was traveling around with a boat.
I think he was an early Federation guy. With
Could be.
bass.
I've got an old red polo shirt with like patches.
You
Oh, that's
remember,
dope.
remember when they had like the Federation
Yes.
arm of bass?
Yes.
But he kind of gave all that up whenever I was born. He got more involved in the repossession business. But yeah, I've always liked fishing.
Hell yeah. Well, that's dope as hell. Might have your dad on the podcast. Just be like,
Yeah.
be like, so how was it back in the day before, all this new shit?
Yeah. How special was I for you to give up fishing?
So, DeRay ruined your life. No,
Maybe. I don't know.
That's what's in the back of all of our minds.
It's a trade-off.
well, I cherish DeRay, especially because of this meat. Your meat's very tender and good, DeRay.
Appreciate it.
This is going to be the most, sus podcast so far. And this is actually probably the 7th podcast I've eaten sausage on camera. The first time started off with Cole Johnson. Do you know Cole?
Yeah.
Yes. So Cole just jammed a sausage down my gullet.
Was that at Nature's?
At Nature's,
Yeah,
yes.
gotcha.
I was like, I want to bring you some sausage. Okay, so I just he was like, I'm going to feed it to you. And instead of just feeding me a bite, he shoved I'm talking, I felt it down here. I was like, oh, damn.
Wow.
That should be illegal.
So that sausage is made from our brisket scrap. We'll trim our briskets every day to prep them to go on the pit the following day, and we'll keep that scrap. And instead of throwing that extra product away, or that we'll use it, grind it up, season it, case it up, smoke it.
All in a day.
So that is it's
over
generally
time.
it's generally like a 3-day process. So we'll trim, cure, season, and stuff over a three-day process. But the sausage that you eat here, whether it's the traditional house or the jalapeno cheese, that's a prime grade brisket sausage. So now the pork element is the casing. We use all natural casings, but the brisket, the sausage that you get here is a beef-based sausage.
I could tell it was something different. Very good, but something different. I was like, that ain't no Zumos.
Yeah. We all grew up on Zumos, and we love it, right? We're
still eat it.
still going to throw it on every chance we get, birthday parties and stuff like that, especially when we're doing mass things at home. But the difference in this sausage is that the flavor profile is beef instead of pork. So you see a lot more pork sausages at other places, and we might get into that at some point, but we're really, really liking the beef.
Yeah, no, I want to get into all the meat. I just kind of wanted to hit your background up, and I know I'm going to rotate with Mitch in and out on this thing, and he has some very exquisite questions he's wanted to ask you. I know he's been dying to ask, and I want y'all to talk about, I don't want you to tell your secrets, your secret recipes or your, whatever you want. I do see, do y'all make this?
So that is our recipe, but for purposes of retail, it has to be made at a bottling company. So it's what you have in the store and what you buy in the bottle is the same.
That is.
We're really proud of that, actually. Blue worked on that pretty diligently for about a year. For anybody trying to bottle something, it's probably going to take that long because you're at the mercy of those companies who do that.
Corporation.
Right. And finally got it in. All the artwork was done in-house by our team over at Broussard's in the print shop. And it just came together well. Lauren spearheaded, Lauren Brady She spearheaded all the artwork to make sure that it was going well. So
Yeah.
super proud of that, man.
Yeah, I didn't even know that she was working for y'all. Honestly, when she walked in, I was like, hello. Like, I see her all the time. Like, okay. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right, we're back at it, boys. So I'm hopping in this second section of this podcast. And I just want to start by saying I frequent this place as much as I can, and phenomenal food, phenomenal barbecue. My wife, this is probably her favorite place to eat. She always talks about y'all's brisket. She loves it. One thing I want to bring up, so y'all were, and I don't know if y'all talked about this earlier, but y'all were in the top 50 Texas monthly barbecue joints in Texas, which is a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as far as Texas barbecue, that's kind of the list that you would like to be a part of.
So how often do they come out with this list?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years. So basically, y'all know what the hell y'all are doing over here. And I kind of want to get into, really what goes into making that top 50 Texas barbecue joint brisket, man. What do the sacrifice y'all have to make getting here early? I mean, when do y'all start cooking? How do y'all select y'all's meat? How do y'all season y'all's meat? How long do y'all cook y'all's meat? Let's talk about the cook of the brisket.
So as far as being able to make the list, and you say that we know what we were doing, I don't know if we knew that we might have known what we were doing at the time that we made the list. We were just as surprised as anybody, just because we were so new. It's not often you see a restaurant that's been open maybe less than a year or 2 a year to make that list. That's pretty rare.
Right.
So I don't think we knew that we knew what we were doing. They told us, hey, you guys know what you're doing.
Well, I know when y'all opened up, y'all were, the talk around town for sure, everyone was talking about 1701 barbecue, how good y'all's meat was, and I had to come give it a try, and it was everything. It was talked up.
Yeah, as far as brisket, a mindset that I like to, and you guys, I feel like, share a similar mindset, is no shortcuts. You're here with these great microphones and the cables and everything like that. That's what drew me to you guys initially, is you guys weren't taking shortcuts.
Yeah, your quality was off the charts.
Got to set yourself apart from the competition, if you want to be successful, in my opinion.
And it's easy to, when you have a brisket on for 12, 14, 16 hours, to try to find a shortcut, But as many times as I've done it, I've found that really in good traditional Central Texas style barbecue that there are no real shortcuts, in my opinion. Now, there's a bunch of people that do it and they can tell you differently, but that's just what I feel like, is one of the keys.
And every time I pull up to this place, there's a line going around the side of the building. People love y'all's food. So if you're preparing for a normal day to serve the lunch crowd, what time do you get here and what time do you throw that meat on the grill?
We like for the pits to start getting fired up about 4 in the morning. I've got a schedule in my head right now of when things need to be on. I just have like an internal barbecue clock because most of it falls on me. But as long as we're here by 4:30 and we got the pits starting to warm up and get where they need to be, and that's kind of where I like to be, 4:30.
And y'all are using pellet smokers back there, huh? Pit bosses?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just
That's the only way.
compressed sawdust, just the purest of flavors.
There's a lot of argument, and that was a joke, by the way. They got some nice smokers in the back. But there's a lot of people that, what kind of wood do I smoke with for the best tasting barbecue? I've always been told pecan wood, and that's what I've always cooked with. What's your opinion on that?
Well, you were told pecan wood because that's what's close and abundant to us. And there's nothing wrong with pecan for most applications. But I think, Derek, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the main reasons, that we all agree that we're using as much sourced post oak as we can is because this restaurant is built around Central Texas style flavor. So that's what we all enjoyed when we went on vacation to the hill country and got that hill country style barbecue. So if we enjoy that and if we want to cook that, then we're going to use that type of hardwood. So that's why we're using it.
So my dad had a pecan orchard, he had like 200 trees before the hurricane, so we always had pecan wood at the
Well, there
house.
you
And
go.
that's just
That's-
always what we've cooked with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That and hickory is fairly popular around here
mesquite
in
as well.
East Texas. So
Yeah.
But y'all have
As far as oak, kind of gives you it's not like super harsh. You know, it's not going to completely overtake the flavors of the meat. It's going to let the meat shine a little bit, but it does give you a little margin for error if things don't quite go right that day. It's not just going to kill your taste buds, or if things are perfect, you're still going to get some smoke. You know, if you were to use a heavier mesquite like they use in South Texas, right out the gate, that mesquite wood is strong, you know, and it's going to be very pronounced and prominent, and it might overtake the taste of the beef or the pork or the chicken, where it just leaves with you when you leave here, you know, if we were to only use that. But with oak, you got that middle ground, you know, and it's a reference to where we get our influence from, Central Texas. You know, that's the type of wood that they use. That's the style of barbecue that we're trying to recreate.
I will say a great respect for you guys. The main reason is because I've cooked brisket. I've cooked many briskets, and man, I can't get it right. I guess it just takes time.
You've probably done one that you're proud of, though.
I have done one that was not bad,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say like, damn, you know, that was the best brisket I've ever had.
Yeah,
But
we're not working magic. I mean, we've just got our processes dialed in, that's all.
That's
It's
what it's all
repetition. I tell people all the time that are a little bit scared or intimidated or trepidatious on doing briskets. I'm like, man, I'm sure you've done one that you're proud of, and I'm sure that you're going to do one that's going to impress all your neighbors again. The only difference between us and that mindset is we're trying to do that every day with every piece of meat that we put on the pit. That's all.
And I think
that just comes with the no shortcut attitude,
Right.
And the repetition. That's all.
And I would think a lot of it comes with the piece of meat that you start with. How big a deal is it to get a quality cut of meat? I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, we fortunately, because of the volume that we do purchase, we're afforded the opportunity to get the best quality of meats, and we realize that, you know, that may not be always the case for the general public because they're not buying it, but you can as an individual go to HEB or somewhere like that, and you can buy a quality piece of brisket. I mean, a quality prime brisket to start with. And
Right.
if you're gonna cook something for 12 to 14 hours, why not just buy the best that you can to start with, so that at the end of the process, you know, you have the best chance of having the best brisket that you can possibly cook.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of time you put into cooking that one piece of meat. You want it to be good.
You're right. Right.
That goes back to the margin of error thing. You know, if you were to buy the cheapest, just leanest, no intramuscular fat piece of meat or brisket that you found, not really knowing what you're doing, not knowing how to control a fire, or maybe even not even caring that much, the odds or chances of you coming out with one of your best briskets that you've done are pretty low.
Right.
But if you start with, a prime grade and then do a little research and take a little time and tenderness into it, you might come out with something that you're happier with.
So both of you both of you are in charge of the pits back there on a normal basis, everyday basis. Y'all are doing the cooking? Or?
So I am not. Derek is, and Jake, who we'll probably get a chance to talk to, they are in charge of that.
Okay, so I guess Derek, how did you develop the passion for, because it's a passion doing all this. What got you started smoking meats and getting into that world?
It was, I spoke a little bit about it earlier, just living that kind of domesticated life, and then jumping out on the back porch and trying that myself. All my trips to Austin and Central Texas, to where I was impressed and changed by just insanely good barbecue. I wanted to figure out a way where I could recreate that at home, let alone in a restaurant, but at home in general. So just the time, the research, the knowledge, and then just trial and error, screwing up 50 times.
Right.
Just like you're talking about, how you say you You can't do a good brisket. You got one that you're kind of proud of. It's taking that one that you're kind of proud of and trying to figure out how to get it even better.
But the thing
and
is,
it's
man, I mean, the brisket here, phenomenal, but everything y'all serve here is just top tier, man. I mean, I tried, and I don't know if y'all offer it daily, the boudin. Who came up with that recipe? Because that is fire, man.
Yeah, we'll get Jake on the mic for that one.
I mean, Jesus
he can
Christ,
tell you
that
all
is some
about it.
top-notch boudin. And down here in Southeast Texas, we eat a lot of boudin. I think DJ's is probably the biggest boudin name around here. But this boudin is...
It was, who else was it? DJs and
Zumo.
but I thought there was in Mid-County or Port Arthur. I thought there was another boudin. I don't know.
Yeah. There was a market.
I think DJ's and Zumo probably the top two
Yeah,
in the area.
most accessible for sure.
And a lot of people comment on our stuff and say that we're trying to cook like Louisiana. We share a lot of common cooking
no
styles with Louisiana, and boudin's really big in Louisiana. But this Southeast Texas boudin y'all came up with is definitely in competition with Louisiana's for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah,
I
we-
can speak for Jake a little bit in saying that it didn't come easy.
No.
There was a lot of test batches involved
Yeah.
there.
A lot of waste.
Yeah.
It cost a lot of money for us to figure out those recipes. But once we got our base recipe, I felt like things really began to take off.
Because you can't change 2 or 3 things on the next test cook because you're not going to know what worked on the prior cook.
Hey, you were talking about Nick's. That's what you were trying to
Nick's
think about.
boudin.
Yeah. That was old school Port Arthur. Go into the grocery store, go back to the back. It's all in rings. How many pounds do you want? They just take out that ring and
Yeah.
wrap it up in paper and send you out. That was awesome.
So when y'all came up with the barbecue sauce, is that something y'all had come up with before y'all opened up, or is that something y'all continue to tweak or whatever? Because y'all's barbecue sauce is also top tier.
Blue had that nailed before we opened, actually, I believe, and then it's been in the restaurant since day one. It's not been tweaked since then.
Yeah, no need to tweak it. I
No,
mean,
not at all.
it's everything I like in a Texas style barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
I mean, I would like to. I'm probably going to get me a jar before I leave, 100%.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it because it doesn't take any focus away from the meats.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, all the specific type of wood, learning the craft of live fire and controlling it, and then sticking to your processes. You don't want to just throw all that to the wayside and throw a thick, very flavor-heavy sauce on it just to cover up all the work that you just did.
Yeah.
You want something to complement it, and I feel like what we have does that.
That makes sense, and that's what a lot of people say when they eat steak. You know,
Right.
I don't need A1 or whatever steak sauce. It takes away from the flavor of the
Sure.
steak. You know, you don't want to overpower the taste of that meat with the sauce, and y'all got it nailed for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting into a couple different things, and I don't know what if y'all hit on this on the first section of the podcast, but before 1701, before y'all opened the joint, what did y'all do career-wise?
We did. Yeah, my dad's shop's right here behind us over my shoulder. I was in the repossession, the car and truck, boat repossession business.
Nice.
Yeah.
and I remodeled with Jake, the other guy that works here on the block and in the pit. We remodeled houses together.
Yeah, going from that to cooking barbecue, man. And I talk to a lot of people about careers and everything, and doing something you truly love doing for a living is a blessing. You know, I'm sure y'all love cooking barbecue. I'm sure it gets, tiresome at times, but y'all have a passion for it. And that's a blessing. You get to do that for a living, man.
Yeah, that's definitely not lost on us. I mean, it gets hard, especially during the summertime. It gets extremely hot out in the back.
And I walked in that pit room earlier, man, and it's a little warm this morning, but it's pretty toasty in there.
Yeah, Jake and I and Derek, we've kind of had this dialogue going the last few weeks. I know a couple of our new guys, Smitty and Colton. They're doing amazing work. We've had some high temperature days lately, and they've talked about how hot it is, and we just kind of look at each other and say, well, guys, 107 in the pit room is coming, so just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the heat of summer, it's going to
Yeah.
get up in the 90s, and I'm sure it's going to be like a sauna in there.
Yeah,
It's usually 15 to 20 degrees hotter back there. Ambient, temp. Not standing next to the pit. Obviously, that's going to be very hot. We had a infrared thermometer back there the other day, and it was 480 coming right off the door, which is where we just stand, But yeah, it's usually 15 to 20 degrees hotter back there than it is outside. So when it gets 90, we're looking at 115.
And that's tough.
It's brutal. It can be brutal.
It's brutal for 8 to 12-hour days,
Yeah. And that's what y'all are putting in up here. So for an operation like this, y'all, line coming out the door pretty much every day y'all are open. How many people do y'all have back there manning the grills? It's a big operation. I see multiple people up here serving, woman working the cash drawer. How many people work here really?
So we've got 11 employees, and we've got 6 guys working the pits right now, and that's in basically 2 shifts. We've got your morning shift, which carries over till about 12:30, and then the relief comes in at 10 a.m. and they'll stay till about 6 or 7. Just that's determined by the brisket cook and what that muscle itself wants to do as far as getting done at the temps that we run it.
I see. And so how many briskets do y'all buy every week? Do y'all buy every couple days? Or, how many briskets are y'all running through here a week?
So we order probably 15 to 16 cases a week. It kind of depends on, if we have extra orders going out, like to the plants, to the hospital, just any office.
Oh, so y'all do the catering thing
We do.
too?
Yeah, we do. You can go online, 1701barbecue.com.
I didn't know y'all catered.
Yeah, we do. There's a catering option there, so feel free to hit us up for that. But yeah, 15 cases. Usually the cases come with about 4 or 5 briskets. So we're pushing through a ton of meat.
That's a lot of meat.
One thing that people always say, because sometimes we do run out, they'll suggest, well, you guys should cook more. And the reality is for the most part, we are cooking at capacity each day. It's not a game to try to trick people into this false sense of excitement. Well, I got to get they're not cooking as much as they can because they're trying to work, their angles. Anytime anyone wants to come into our pit room and take a tour, open the doors, between that 4 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. time, you'll see that we are at maximum capacity from day to day on pit space.
Listen, guys, I don't know about y'all, but at the end of the day, I like to crack open an ice-cold Lone Star Light. We would like to thank our sponsors, Lone Star Light Twisted Tea, for sponsoring the podcast. Listen, we like to have a good time. If you know us, if you're a follower of the show, we love to have a good time. We like to have that camaraderie on the back porch, whether we're grilling, whether we're chilling out, ice-cold beer in hand. Lone Star Light is the go-to. Texas-based, Texas-proud. If you guys are drinking a beer, it better be a Lone Star. And if you're not drinking a Lone Star, you better not let us hear it on the Bayou Dragons.
And how did y'all go about designing y'all's pits, and who built y'all's pits? Because they're pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a good question. If Blue was here, he'd be able to answer that specifically. I only know the origin of one pit that we have, and it's our, I guess you call it our show pit, right, D-Ray?
Flagship.
Yeah, it's the one on a well-built trailer, and we can move that from event to event. We've pulled it all the way to Dallas before, but all of our other pits are just inherited gifts that were given to Blue, or that he was able to purchase. I'm not exactly sure of the story, but the funny thing about our setup is that we're not, in comparison to maybe some of the other top 50, we don't have a lot of name brand, exclusive design style pits. I mean, we're just running things that are similar to what any guy here in Southeast Texas could probably pick up from someone else's backyard, or
Right.
just laying around in a pasture somewhere.
And that's awesome, man. There's a lot of, I would say not competition, but there's a lot of barbecue joints in the state of Texas, and I think it's cool that everyone has kind of their own methods of doing things. and that's what makes them unique, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, with y'all, the flavor's there, the seasoning's on point. So one thing I want to talk about when I'm cooking a brisket, that bark, man. The bark, a lot of people talk about the bark. What is your opinion on, what should the bark look like? How thick should it be? How do you get that good bark on a brisket? Because I struggle with getting that good bark on a brisket.
It's the bark that's created is a chemical reaction between the salts and the fats of the meat and the amount of pepper and stuff that we use. There's a lot of differing opinions out there about when to wrap and when to not wrap or not wrap at all.
When you say wrap, you're wrapping it in a butcher paper style, or what
We
y'all
do.
wrap with?
We use a butcher paper, but you can use foil, but the style that I like and what drew me to barbecue is that heavy, dark, meteorite, black-looking bark. The contrast between that heavy black bark and then you cut it into the meat. You got that tender, lighter colored meat. Just that contrast looks visually appealing. But yeah, a lot of people think it's burnt, stuff like that. Just it looks like it might be, but it's not. You put it in your mouth and you'll quickly understand that that's a work of art.
Right, definitely a work of art.
Yeah, it's a skill. And a lot of that is tied to the style of cooking that we're doing on traditional offset pits. You can do it on pellet smokers and stuff like that. It's
I
gonna
have
come
been
out different,
unsuccessful on that. So what I struggled with was when are you supposed to wrap the meat? In your opinion, I mean, like
you don't
said,
have to
everyone has-
wrap it all.
Right.
Just whatever style and flavor you're looking for. You don't have to wrap it all. We like to wait until the seasoning's not like flaking off. Things are kind of set in stone. That way, when you go to handle a brisket, you're not going to leave any marks or scarring or anything like that. Because your butcher paper is going to hold a lot of moisture there. So I like to push it a little bit further than somebody might. That way, whenever we do wrap and the paper traps all that moisture, it's not going to wash your bark out. It's set, which it could mean 8 hours into the cook. It could mean 10, 11 hours into the cook.
I guess it just depends
It
on
depends on the size of the brisket and the layers of seasoning and stuff like that, which, we've got barbecue classes coming up. So if you want to dive a little bit deeper into that.
y'all going to do some classes on smoking some meat?
Yeah, we can talk one-on-one, about all of that.
I might have to sign up for that.
Yeah. Throw 20 in my pocket. I'll show up on your back porch.
I'll trade you a duck hunt. You bring me along, I'll bring you along.
I can't promise limits, that's for sure. We hunt. I mean, we got a business going, and we do a lot of advertising in the outdoors. But a lot of people are under the impression that we have all this private land to hunt, but that's not the case, man. We hunt public land down here, and a lot of people just think we hunt strictly rice fields or private land down here. But we're out there grinding, man. Leaving the house at midnight, getting out in the marsh, and fighting the public and having fun with it.
Yeah.
It's all about the experience when it comes to the outdoors, and in my opinion, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah.
Getting out there early, setting out the decoys, having fun with your friends, couple buddies out there, and even if you don't, shoot a pile of birds, it's fun, man.
Absolutely.
Just getting away and getting able to hunt. We're all blessed to have the opportunity to have all this land we can hunt on the coast. I mean, so much land, refuges all over the coast. We can just go hunt, and it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate all of that. And there's moments of the day or your routines in the morning where you're getting going, probably, where you're like, man, this is a lot of work. What am I doing? But there's payoff moments.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like I said, you have those hunts where you may not shoot full limits, but then you have those hunts that you remember for the rest of your life. I mean, I have hunts that I look back on from 6-7 years ago that I'm like, man, that was such an awesome hunt.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it,
Right.
And, luckily now I've got the camera. I can document
Sure.
some of our hunts, and it's fun to be able to do that and then go back and look back on it, and
Right.
it's definitely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Porter I've got two boys, and I try to take them out into the bayou as much as possible because it's so close. And something that I'll say to them a lot is there's like 7 billion people on the planet or something like that, and there's nobody around. Like there's nobody out here.
Yep.
Just to try to give them a perspective of how awesome it is just to be out, by yourself, nobody around, and really, they've got the whole Bayou to do whatever they want,
And I think a lot of people are kind of attracted to our content because they've never seen, look, I'm not talking about locals. I'm talking about people like up north and everything.
Sure.
They never get to experience that kind of thing.
Right.
We can go launch the boat. I can go launch my boat 5 minutes from my house and be on Taylor's Bayou and running up in the swamps and, just having fun, cutting up. And, people just don't get to live that kind of lifestyle from the northern areas or, just people that just don't have the opportunity.
It's kind of crazy as often as, all of us are out there that we just haven't run across each other in Bayou for some reason.
I know. We're out there. Definitely
Because you're not out there on Sundays.
That's right.
Yeah, them Sundays can get wild.
Yeah,
Taylor's Bayou Sandbar
Right.
had some very good times out there. Just a sandbar in the middle of the bayou. Everyone will pull up and just have a good old time with some music. You'll see people with old smokies cooking.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Jumping. You've been out there jumping out of the tree and just hanging out, man. You can't beat it.
Is the rope still out there?
The last time I was out there, it was.
A rope swing?
Yeah.
There's some people, man, that, you got to be careful out there on the water. And I don't stress this enough when we put out our content is safety is number one priority when being on the water or hunting or fishing and everything. We put out the fun stuff, but, safety is number one. You see us doing all, I wouldn't say crazy stuff, but just running boats and, having fun. But, if you're going to get into that thing, you need to definitely do your research and do things right.
Yeah.
That's what I like to tell people because,
Absolutely.
a lot of people watch our stuff and just try to go hunting or whatever, but there's a lot of different things you need to learn before you just go out there and try to do it. You need to educate yourself a little bit is what I try to tell people.
It's fine. That was only like a minute. We can edit all this out. But all right. So, Travis, you have brought us a new person on the podcast.
New person.
Jake Goldman. No D.
No D.
Right.
No D. So, Jake, you are one of the pit masters?
One of them, yeah.
That's what I'm getting. There you go. Talking to that mic. Don't be afraid of it, man.
Hold it for me, man. It's weird.
Don't. Hey, man. He likes to hold it. So, Jake, you've been here for how long? Like, you're new. This is the first time I've ever even seen you.
I've been here from the beginning.
From the beginning.
A little over 2 years now.
Yeah, we just started year 3.
Yeah.
So, what did you do before this, Jake?
I was in construction, military, stuff like that. Just
Oh, military.
all kind of stuff.
Well, thank
You can't say military stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
I mean, or were you like, I don't know what you did. What did you do?
I was in the Army, military police.
Oh, nice.
About 5 years.
And then you did construction.
Yeah, I had a remodeling company after that, after the military, and we stumbled into this, and, real easy decision.
And how did you? So DeRay told me the reason he fell in love with barbecuing was because he became a dad. What was have you always liked cooking? Did you know how to barbecue at the beginning?
I've always liked cooking. I don't know that I knew how to barbecue from the beginning, but I thought I did until we came here. This is totally different from anything I've ever done at home.
So is this your first restaurant job? I guess everybody. This is kind of all y'all's first restaurant job.
Yeah,
right.
None of us had restaurant experience that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Blue had his trailer with David Thompson, Blue Dave's, and he operated that for some time. And thank you. Yeah, he operated that for some time. But other than that, man, none of the guys had restaurant experience.
And y'all have fucking killed it. Did y'all go into anything about y'all being Texas Monthly or any of that? Or y'all just talked about meat?
We just talked about meat.
Y'all just talked about all the meats.
Pretty much.
So, everybody that is listening, if you have listened to this far, not only are we sitting at the most renowned barbecue joint in Southeast Texas, we are sitting in a top 50 Texas Monthly barbecue I don't even know what you'd say. Like
Joint.
of the joint of the.
Says it right there.
Oh, okay. So we're at the Texas Monthly Top 50 Barbecue Joints. That's the whole state of Texas. I mean, how many? First off, how many barbecue joints do you think there are in Texas?
Thousands.
Thousands, and y'all are in the top 50. That's
Yeah.
fucking solid. I mean, and this is some of the best barbecue I've ever had. You know,
Thank you.
and I'm not just trying to jack you off because y'all are sitting right here. That is good. I've been munching on it. The sides are great. I've already said it. The potato salad is so fucking good. It goes potato salad, green beans, mac and cheese, beans, and that. I want that with my gumbo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, we do a gumbo every Friday
Every Friday I'll do a
Yeah.
gumbo.
during the Lent season. So
Oh.
you can come in and get a shrimp gumbo on Fridays.
Oh, nice. Are y'all Catholic? Or y'all just tend to the masses?
We just tend to the masses. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So, Jake, what is your specialty meat that you work with?
Probably going to be the sausage and the boudin.
Oh, y'all. Oh, yeah, I did. I mean, I shared a picture today. Y'all had boudin. I've never had.
I don't know if he saw it, but that was the brisket boudin that he came up with.
Oh, so you're a wizard.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, so before we go into it, so if you're doing the hiring, do you only hire people with great beards? Is that like a?
You know, it's funny. It just happened that way. We have no explanation for that.
I mean, the only people that don't have beards in this joint are the women. Like,
Some might.
some. Hell yeah, brother. No, I was just like everybody in the back has a fantastic beard. There's not a single guy that's on the pit doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, I agree.
Colton's got to get there.
Yeah,
What Colton? Who?
lofted.
Yeah.
Lofton. Oh,
He's getting there.
We're working on it.
speaking of Colton, we're actually Savoy used to work here, huh?
Yeah.
Baby boy
Yeah.
Savoy.
Baby boy. So
Yeah.
he actually stopped work. Like, I don't know what he did here. Was he cooking with y'all?
Yeah,
he was doing the sausage.
Yeah, but I mean, Colton was definitely a pit master,
Hell yeah. He
and then he left and got a real job.
he works with me.
Does he really?
Yeah, he works at Enterprise now. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, I haven't seen him at work because he works across the street. But I was like, someone's like, "What did you do before this?" Like, pretty sure you made ribs. You know, like I was like,
Yeah, he did.
He's slanging meat.
You know, the funny story about Colton is, I think I told Jake the day before. There was a certain time where I was like, we got to get Colton on the sausage. And I told Jake, I said, tomorrow I'm going to tell Colton that he's on sausage. And so I go into the pit room and he's doing what he's doing. I said, hey, you're going to start learning sausage. And he was like, no way. He's like, I can't do that. And I said, oh, yeah, me and Jake have already decided. And so it was a united front, me and Jake versus Colton. And Jake trained him up, man. And he was our primo sauce. I mean, he was the sausage maker. Primo. I
he
mean,
was good at handling sausage.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
Real
dialed
good.
he dialed it in, man.
Oh, yeah.
He really dialed it in.
Hey Colton, if you're listening to this, I heard you're really good at handling sausage, especially Jake's sausage.
That's it.
That's good. No, he's a good kid. He say kid. I don't know how old he is, honestly. He could be 18. He could be 28. I don't know.
I'm just gonna call him a man because if that guy wanted to, he could manhandle me at any point.
Yeah, he is a unit with long hair. He's like a miniature Co-Wetzel. Like,
There's a picture with
Yeah.
him and Cole Wetzel.
Yeah,
Is
he,
there?
He actually cooked for Co when Co came down to Beaumont.
oh, did he come here and eat?
Yeah. No. We brought it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Where was he at? Jenkins?
No, he was at Fort Park.
Ford Park?
Yeah.
What, have y'all had any, so, I have no clue. Like, have y'all had, famous people come in, or, do y'all deal with any of that, or have y'all ever even acknowledged it?
We had Forey Smith come in
Yeah, that's right.
from Yellowstone.
From Yellowstone.
Never seen that show still.
It's a good show.
I heard it's good.
Good show.
I'll probably get roasted for that one. That dude's fucking, you never seen Yellowstone? Pussy.
We had a guy tell him that when he was here. I've never seen your show. He was like, well, okay.
Thanks.
He's a really nice guy.
I love doing that, to different people I've seen, of a higher status. I'll be like, I'll say the wrong, I've seen some Red Sox players before that I'm like, like, oh, he plays for the Yankees, you know. Like Dustin Pedroia, he walked by, like the most famous second baseman ever for like the Red Sox. We were walking down this dock, like, and I was like, oh, that was the second baseman for the Yankees. I thought he was gonna kick my ass, you know. And then Matthew Mitchell's little brother, a while back, we were at a B&B Steakhouse in Houston. Have you heard of it?
I have.
Like Meat Market or whatever. Well, they were having J.J. Watt's retirement party there at the same time, and they're like I don't know why, but they like I would have never known because they had their own little private section. But the manager came out and was like, "Oh yeah, there's like famous people here." I was like, "Okay, well, I think I'm famous," you know, just bullshitting with him. He's like, J.J. Watt, Andre Johnson, blah blah blah. I'm like, "Okay, cool." And well, Andre Johnson's walking by, and Matthew says, "Oh, dude, there's a Calvin Johnson." Like when Andre was like right by our table, and like he stops and looks at us, and he's like, "Megatron, right?" You know, like, dude, I was like, "Oh my God, he's about to kill Matthew." Like, some people will take that serious, and he looked like he took it serious. So I know Andre Johnson will never hear this, but we were the guys that called you Megatron the other day.
So we have our local star Jay Bruce down the road.
Yeah, I've
Sure
heard
shot.
of him.
You know that guy a little bit.
Yeah, he's been on the
Yeah.
podcast once.
He comes down quite a bit. He enjoys the cube.
The local legend Jay Bruce. But I don't know exactly. It's a little hard to hear in here from what Mitchell was talking. I want to know, like, is there anything like that y'all are wanting to promote? Is there like specials? Is there like, do you do some? What do you do, Jake? I mean, you know, it's
Well-
basically just kind of just plug yourself, talk about yourselves a little bit, brag about yourselves. I mean, top 50 in the state of Texas, that's pretty fucking huge. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's been a pretty cool deal, and totally unexpected for us. Man, I don't know. We're always working on something. We're trying.
You need to talk about that boudin, man. I mean,
talk about the boudin, man. I mean,
it's almost like if something happens to Jake, we're not sure how we're gonna make the boudin because I don't even know if he's written the recipe. It's just all up there in the head. So,
you look like
So what
somebody
I'm-
that would, you know.
So what I'm hearing is pay raise in the near future.
Oh, nice.
conveniently, Blue's not here, so
Is he the guy that does the pay raises? Hey, Blue, you probably won't listen to this either. But if you do, I'm just going to keep everybody I talk about. I know you won't hear this shit, but if you do, Jake needs a fucking raise. But
So the brisket boudin was just kind of a happy accident. You know, we always use pork for our boudin, and I don't know, one day I was making it and realized we were out of pork. So I was like, well, I got plenty of brisket scraps. You know, just throw that in there and see what happens.
y'all seem to have plenty of brisket scraps.
Plenty. So, and you know, that's what goes in our sausage too, is all the trimmings off the briskets. And so I dumped it in there, and I didn't really change much other than just the meats, and it turned out to be the best one so far, I think. So we're going to keep rolling with that.
I'm going to have to try it. I know there's probably not none today, but in the future,
No, we'll have some tomorrow, for sure.
in the future, I'll have to have some.
when do you
Brisket
make
boudin.
your fresh boudin?
On Tuesday.
Okay,
We make it on Tuesday.
Right.
So,
And then you cook it on every other.
yeah, we'll cook
whatever.
it after that. So.
So you're a pit master, boudin master. Like, you have hidden secrets. You have
No.
little
No, I don't think so.
a pinch of salt here, you know. Where are you from, Jake?
I'm from Port Neches. I live in Nederland though.
So do y'all know each other beforehand?
Yeah, we're cousins.
Oh shit. Okay.
I got him the job, so I could quit my job. I didn't want to be his boss. I wanted to figure out a way to be his boss, so here we are.
Yeah. Are you the little cousin, Jake? Not
I mean,
physically.
Look at us, man.
I mean,
A couple of months, maybe. Yeah.
I didn't know if by age because you're a lot bigger than him. You're a pretty solid guy,
It's all right there.
and you're not that big.
I got to taste all the food before we put it out. So.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
do you?
problem.
Is that your job?
Resident taster.
You're just the rest, dude. Can I apply for that, Blue? If you're listening to this, I would like to be the resident taster. No pay at all.
There you go.
No one asked him to do it, and we're not paying him to do it either.
Blue,
He just does it.
dude. So the next time we do a podcast together, we will for sure do a podcast. All we're gonna do is just ask Blue questions.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like anything you want to ask him, like just personal shit. He'll be like, "Do you wear mismatching socks?"
We'll see if we can get him flustered.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know this dude. I'm gonna just fuck with him. But he's from Hampshire, so he should. I mean, or
All right.
Fannett, he should have some thick skin. He better. Well, oh, there's a train.
So that is the
All day long.
Man, that's the enemy. Especially when you working that,
Trying to do a podcast.
Yeah, doing a podcast or working the morning shift. There's no escaping it.
So that's this. I hope everybody's cherishing that. That train is the same one that comes by my work every day.
Yeah.
That's-
People
Literally.
people tell us all the time I was on my way and I got caught by the train and it completely ruins their lunch.
Damn. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I've literally, that exact train right there, I despise it one. But I have been like an hour and a half late for work.
Yeah.
And the train is
Oh, yeah.
100 yards from where I work and it just stops. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what are y'all doing?
We've
They'll
seen it.
block this whole thing right here, and you
What?
can't cross.
Yeah, what's the longest we've seen it sat there?
Like an hour and a half, 2
Yeah.
hours at least.
And there's people just want some fucking barbecue.
Yeah, and people will sit here. They won't move. They just sit there and wait.
Oh my God. That would suck. You're on that side.
Mm-hmm.
People come from the back way. It's like, sorry, but we're out of barbecue. Fuck. Just losing their minds.
We need to find somebody willing to run underneath the train and hand food out.
We can't endorse that, Jake,
Just,
or encourage that.
That's your job.
yeah. Savoy, do you want another job?
He could probably just move the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're giving him a lot of credit. I mean, I don't know how strong he is, but I'm going to have to ask him now. I'll be like, hey, he must have picked up some big meat around here.
Yeah, we call him the bull.
Jake, what kind of hobbies do you have, man? I mean,
Man, I got 5 kids. I really don't have time for hobbies.
Jesus Christ.
get-
So I know
I
what
get
your
to-
hobby is.
I get to hunt and fish, and that's rare. So
You hunt and fish on an
Yeah.
occasion, and you have sex a lot, undoubtedly, because
Apparently.
5 kids.
I wasn't there for any of it, but yeah,
Oh, cool. That's good. You're a good dad.
yeah.
What does that even mean?
You're a damn good dad. You weren't there for the conception, but you're there for the delivery.
That's it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Chloe, if you're listening, sorry. Really sorry.
Anybody else we need? Chloe, if you do hear this,
Yeah. Yeah. Don't listen.
she won't. She
No,
probably has no clue what a Bayou
No,
dragon is.
If you've seen his kids, it's unmistakable that they're all his.
They all have beards.
Yes.
Working on it. Even the girl.
5-year-old girl just with a fucking beard. It's like, got it from my daddy. So, the boudin, man. But, shit, Jake. I'm just trying to think of, it's always hard jumping in and out of, like, the podcast.
Well,
Is there something-
he's a big national forest guy
National Forest.
when it comes to hunting.
So you hunt public, national forest, whitetail, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. National forest is hard, man. It's a hard hunt.
Yes.
A lot of walking, you got to track, you got to know where they're laying down, you got to find them.
Yeah.
And I think I've been hunting it about 7 years now. I've killed 2 deer.
Yeah, he says that, but he also comes back with stories of how he's pets deer
Yeah.
in the national
I've
forest.
had them walk up and I just touch them on
And
the head.
Sabine, I'm
Yeah,
guessing?
Sabine,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes all the way to freaking,
Yeah. It's a lot.
like,
of
to
land.
Hemp Hill?
Mhm.
Like, honestly?
I hunt the south end right by the dam, so I don't go any farther. There's too much driving.
Yeah. But that's, a lot of pine. So, for anybody listening that, is interested or maybe be interested, it is straightly pine tree forest for, how many miles do you think Sabine National Wildlife Refuge is?
Oh,
Or,
it's every bit of a 30, 40 mile run up 87.
Yeah.
Left and right side.
forever?
I think just the little section that I hunt is probably 10,000 acres, something like that.
Because, like, even where I'm at in Hemp Hill, like where my camp is, I can drive the boat like 200 yards across the bay or across the ways, and you're in the
You're in the forest.
you're in the forest.
Yeah.
Like, and there's guys that hunt up there where I that stay with us, and they've shot deer and stuff, and I'm like, how does anyone get there? Like, they can't. Like, unless you just walk from the main road, which the main road where we're at would be like 11 or 12 miles through thick-ass shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's easier to go by boat.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, if you got a boat, it's definitely the way to go.
yeah. Do you have a boat?
No,
Do you need to borrow a boat?
I do.
Well, you have to drive to Hemp Hill, but I'll let you
Well, I
borrow
know somebody's got a boat, but I still haven't rowed in it. So
Yeah, what's up with this?
Well, he's kind of timid to get back in the boat with me. After the last Taylor's Bayou incident.
What happened? Okay, let's hear this. This is the kind of stories I need. I need this meat.
he wasn't happy with the boudin
Nah.
and threw me out.
Oh, damn.
Get it right, man.
Yeah, get that
I
fucking
got it
boudin
fixed
right.
now. So
Yeah, it only took you once.
yeah,
It's
one time.
actually, well, we haven't talked about this together publicly, so if he does, it's because he's over it. He's not mad at me anymore.
Well, are you still mad at him? Are we going to talk about this?
I'm not mad.
I mean, what happened?
I got a
mean,
new pair of glasses. I got a new hat. So
you threw him out.
I told you I'd buy it.
You're just leaving me and the viewers hungry for this. What happened?
oh man,
I'm sure there was nothing illicit.
no.
Illicit? I'm not English.
We were just cruising along by you, man. And I don't know. I just last thing I saw was my feet. So
We made a turn. He was, it was not advisable in what we were doing, or what Jake was doing rather. I made a proper turn. He was on the wrong side of the boat, sitting in a position that you shouldn't have, in a lawn chair on the front,
Oh,
and
with no duct tape on the ground either.
duct tape.
exactly.
We're probably cruising at 35, 40. And
Safe.
yeah, he hit the water.
Feet first or
Face first.
Face first.
He don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what hit first, man.
You're alive.
I'm alive.
You're well.
Yeah.
And you
good.
won't fuck that boudin up again.
Nope, never.
man.
Dude, Taylor's Bayou will get the best of you. I remember one time. So we'd always do a lot of hydro sliding or wakeboarding or whatever down Taylor's Bayou. Well, like, not really safe, but like we don't have multiple boats, so like I would take like my bass boat way ahead and start doing donuts, like getting big ass waves, you know. And Tanner's now brother-in-law, the other guy that helps us run this, his brother-in-law is driving like in a bay boat, and like isn't paying attention and smacks one of those waves, and straight up his face hits that front
No doubt.
bar.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Wow.
black, and this you could almost knocked him out because the boat went like towards the bank. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
what happened? Like, we went back there, tooth broke in half.
Oh, man.
All this shit. I was like, damn.
So where
Shit's
were
done.
y'all? What part of the Bayou?
Right where he broke his tooth in half was, you know where Taylor's Landing is?
Right.
Like, right when you get going back towards like Finette on that corner.
Yeah.
I was on the other side doing donuts. He came hauling ass around the edge, smacked it, face went into the bar.
It's still not really wide right there.
No, it's not. It's not. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And I always dislike the old man that's sitting out there yelling at people to slow down by their docks and all that stuff. I'm like, I respect it, but like I'll be driving like 3 or 4, and he's like, slow down. I'm like, oh, I'm like, fuck you, old man. Like that. But anyway, or do you stay on that? Do you stay on the other side of Taylor's? Or are you on? Or I guess that's Hildebrandt.
No, I'm mostly South Taylor's. So right at the 73 bridge, that's where I put in because I live in Groves.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense for me to put in right there.
And then you head back towards.
Yeah, I'm on both sides. I've got little spots that I fish on both sides.
Well, I know where some good crabbing is right there on that.
Yeah. Well, let's do that. We've got a few weeks.
Yeah.
We'll be ready to go.
Oh yeah. There's some really good crabbing over there, and gar fishing if you're into that. Have y'all ever served anything random as shit here? Like, or y'all have always just done barbecue? I mean, have y'all just been like, oh, we got this?
The most random thing that we've done so far is the gumbo.
Yeah.
We've had a really good response, but I would say expanding on the menu and doing something kind of crazy out of the ordinary is usually reserved for festivals.
Yeah.
when we go to different festivals, which we're going to Troubadour again here in a few weeks, and
Tell about that. Like,
yeah, it's going to be a blast. It's in College Station. Midland is headlining, so I mean, obviously it's going to be.
Yeah, they got a few good ones playing.
Yeah. We'll announce that. Anything that we participate in or that's coming up, we'll usually put that on our Facebook and Instagram. That way, people can be sure and buy tickets. Houston Barbecue Festival is coming up in a few weeks. We've got Red Dirt, which is coming up.
where's that at?
It's in Tyler on the
Tyler.
square, which that is a blast. I mean, Tyler's just a cool city, and the venue is just, obviously it's a perfect square near about because it's on the square. So it's real tight. You can get to everything. It's very accessible.
They have multiple vendors and shit there, or
They do.
Oh,
yeah. Usually what it is when you go to these barbecue festivals is you're offering a tasting. So just one bite, maybe maximum 2 bites, and you go from place to place, and you just fill up on barbecue, and you got good country, Red Dirt Texas country music at the end of the night.
hell yeah.
It's a blast.
We're actually going to the Devil's Backbone Tavern this weekend
Yeah.
for a boudin gumbo cook-off.
Where's that at?
It's in Fisher,
Fisher.
Texas.
Just
Fisher,
outside
Texas.
of Wimberley.
Wimberley. That's my favorite place in Texas, hands down. Like,
Oh, yeah.
to
Beautiful.
me, most beautiful country, Wimberley, Texas.
Yep.
Fisher's right outside of Wimberley, and you said the Devil's Backbone.
Yeah.
Devil's Backbone Tavern.
Okay. We're good. We can go ahead and we'll continue.
Mike.
Yeah, Jake.
Mike.
Say it with your chest, Jake. All right. The Devil's Backbone in Fisher, Texas.
Yeah.
You said that one's a pretty live one, boudin and gumbo.
I think this is the first one.
Yeah.
They're talking about doing it annually. This will be the first one. It's going to be Bill Dumas from Brotherton's Black Iron Barbecue. They're up in Pflugerville. Bill Dumas is the sausage sensei on Instagram if you ever want to look him up.
Sausage Sensei.
He's the man.
Is that his tag name?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
The sausage sensei.
that's fucking great.
he
is
is
awesome.
He is insane.
He knows how to make some sausage.
Oh, yeah.
he
Oh,
makes-
If you can think of it, he can put it in a casing and,
Yeah.
and smoke it,
It-
man.
it- yeah,
it's
it-
good.
Yeah.
Copenhagen sausage.
Maybe.
Don't put it past him.
Maybe.
Sausage Sensei. That's the greatest name I've. Like, I want that tattooed on me.
He probably does.
Yeah.
There's no, dude. If he has a Jeep, it says Sausage Sensei on there.
Yeah, probably.
Like, oh god. Anyway, so you have Devil. What's another one?
Red Dirt is coming up. Well, in order, I should say Houston Barbecue is coming up, and then Red Dirt in Tyler, and then Troubadour, which is in
College Station.
And then, so get this, second year in a row, we're thankful, obviously, no complaint, no gripe to be invited to Texas Monthly Barbecue Festival. You only get invited if you're a top 50, from what I understand. So we're very thankful. Second year in a row. It's on November the 4th,
It's opening weekend.
opening weekend of deer season
Yeah.
and duck season.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
that's pretty bogus. Especially if you're really into, and I guarantee majority of the people that are in this barbecue cook-off for the Texas is like,
Yeah.
God dang it,
Oh, yeah.
I should be up in Junction right now shooting some goddamn whitetail. And
So
yeah, I know. I'll be. Sorry, I won't be at your cook-off.
right.
But I will be. I'll think of y'all whenever I'm, November 4th. I'll probably be up north by then. I'll already be hunting up north.
Yeah.
I don't like hunting down here that much. There's still November 4th. There's mosquitoes. It's
Right.
warm.
Yep,
I'd rather
absolutely.
head up to Canada,
Yep.
Yeah.
Kansas, somewhere like that. But have y'all won one of those? Like, have y'all? Like, is it actual competition or is it kind of just like a get together?
It's more of a tasting. Like, everything's pretty much a tasting. The Devil's Backbone thing is going to be it's a cook-off for the boudin, but it's more of a people's choice type of deal. It's not a major thing.
Are you gonna win it?
I hope so.
Dude,
After all this work.
yeah, after this podcast,
Yeah.
dude, I will. I would like to know. So I would like to start whenever y'all have something like that. Let me know. Like we'll if there's like a photo of like the flyer, like the dates and all that shit, I'll start sharing it and all that stuff. Be like,
Yeah.
y'all need to go out here check out 1701.
Yeah.
These are the dudes. They got that sausage, that boudin.
Everything that we do is going to be on Facebook and Instagram. So
Yeah,
people,
which is 1701 barbecue, right?
that's
Just
it. That's it.
1701 barbecue. If you know how to write or read or type, 1701 barbecue on all social media platforms. They are. I'm just telling you, this shit has been so good. We're gonna definitely finish this. It's a little bit harder to, talk and eat.
Yeah.
Dip snuff, but that chicken is for sure solid. The ribs.
I
So
appreciate
good.
that.
God, it's so good. But and so you and there's another guy that's not here. Sadly, he is under the weather. Old Blue, he is the other co-owner of
So
this.
Blue owns it.
Yeah.
Blue owns.
Yeah,
Okay.
Blue owns it.
Blue's the dude, the head
Mhm.
dude.
Absolutely.
And Blue, if you're watching this, we did miss you today. We'll have you on, soon, hopefully. We're always needing guests, so we can ask him some questions that we didn't ask y'all. More fucked up questions,
There you go.
But and how did you? We didn't talk about that. How did you meet Blue? Like,
How did I meet him?
yeah,
Well, so I did Derek's wedding in 2020,
mm-hmm.
and then I saw Derek post something on Facebook about 1701, had this beautiful dark brisket, and Jake and I, we were working construction together. I was his foreman, I guess you could say, but we had already begun to talk about wanting to do something related to food, and we had done a couple cooks. We did one for Groves PD, and I can't remember what else. And so anyway, I see Derek post, and I'm like, man, what is 1701? This looks awesome. And so Derek said, hey, you need to get in contact with Blue. I think you guys would hit it off. So I came up and talked to Blue. He pretty much, long story short, offered me a job. We shook hands. So I come back, I talked to Jake, and I said, hey, look, man, I know we were talking about doing something on our own, but this is going to be a great opportunity for us to learn the ropes, with no capital of our own involved.
yeah,
So I convinced Jake to come talk to Blue the following day, because Blue he needed to fill another spot for Pitmaster. So same conversation, basically, same handshake, and Jake's on. So now he's got his team, his original team, pretty much set that he needs to launch the restaurant, which we never really talked about that. But we're the kind of guys that just trust that everything's going to fall into place. And I'm confident that he felt, incredibly relieved just to know that, he had some guys that were genuinely interested to be a part of something, that he had, envisioned for so long, worked so hard to bring about. So, so in the beginning, Jake was still running the construction company, and the worst part about that was we were kind of alternating days, or maybe he would work here for 2 days, I would manage the site, and then I would work and every day that either him or I wasn't here, we're calling each other, did y'all sell out, how's it going,
Yeah.
and Jake is so descriptive, did y'all sell out? Oh yeah. And I'm like, well, tell me more.
yeah. How was it?
How was it? Was everybody excited?
Was
Did
it
they
a
like
good
the
crowd, or
food?
was it 3 people
Yeah.
that came in and bought everything?
Like,
Yeah.
dude, there was a line. We sold all the food.
Yeah. And so, eventually over time, Jake made the decision, to begin to slowly fade out and shut down the construction company so that, we could both be up here full time. And, that's really the summary story of how and when and why, that we're here today.
That's really cool that Blue started this, and y'all all started right when it started. Like, he trusted y'all. Like, didn't really know y'all at all. It's
No.
like, I'm gonna put faith in y'all. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all look like trusting guys. Y'all have big beards. Like,
That's all it takes, man.
it's all it takes. If I was gonna hire somebody, be like, do you have a beard? Nope. All right. I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's a crazy story how it all came together, man.
Does Blue have a beard?
Yes.
He got an impressive mustache.
Yeah, he's
impressive.
his mustache has been dubbed the best in Texas barbecue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that like a literal, or is that just like I want to know if that's on paper?
It's extremely literal.
Oh my God!
I think it's been written about in publications and articles.
Holy shit! I'm gonna have to find this. If we remember, which it's hard to remember stuff, but if we remember, I'll try to find a photo of this of Blue's mustache and slowly like bring it into the screen as we're talking about it. I don't know how I haven't seen this dude because
You've seen him.
Well, I probably have seen him. His kids are like at Hampshire, I believe.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure my wife like coaches his kids.
But he has a daughter in high school, I believe. I'm not sure. And then Little Blue, he is just starting. So,
just starting.
Yeah, just starting.
So how old is Blue? I mean, I guess
38.
Okay. And how old are you, Travis?
39.
39. Jake?
38.
38. So y'all are all old as dirt.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I just turned 21. That's what everybody at work's always like, how old are you? I've been out there for like over 10 years, and I always say I'm 22. And they're like, damn. And I'm like, y'all are dumb. Like, I have known y'all forever. But, no, that's cool, man. Y'all definitely have a freaking badass thing going on here. I love the whole setup. Y'all jam good music. Y'all have a good crew working with y'all. Y'all definitely have perfected the craftsmanship of cooking meat for sure, and the sides. The potato salad, I have to go ahead and reiterate on that. That is fantastic potato salad. Who makes that?
I don't know who made that today. We have a couple chefs in the kitchen. Jared is our kitchen manager. Anthony, he's an interesting story. He came all the way from Salt Lake City and saw our Instagram, saw what we were doing, liked it. Popped up one day in the parking lot, had a conversation, and man, he's been an asset ever since. But anyway, long story short, I don't know who cooked it today, but they kind of oversee, and make sure that it's done right from day to day.
That shit is legit. I'm hoping everybody that does listen to this does try 1701. Most of our listeners, we do have a big Southeast Texas following, so most of them have had 1701. So y'all are a pretty known deal. I'm probably like the only one that hasn't been here, and this is my first time, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Fantastic. But yeah, is there anything else y'all want to plug? Is there, yeah,
you guys keep up with us on social media. That way you'll know what's going on. We try to post as much content that's, in between educational, entertaining, and informative. Obviously, we've got some things that, we would love to sell you guys, leading off with our barbecue sauce. But we also have some merch, that just kind of helps us and represents us in the community so that other people, we've been here for 3 years, and, we're very used to this place, but some people still don't even know that we exist in our own community. Mm-hmm. And so, if you like what we're doing, buy our stuff, buy a hat. That way, it gives us an opportunity to have other people, learn about us.
Yeah, dude. Real quick, 1701. Like, why 1701?
It's our address.
Oh, is it really?
It's our address.
So you can't get lost.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
You were sitting at 1701 Calder Avenue.
Oh, that makes sense. I thought it was like a specific date. Like, I was like, this is when the boudin was invented. Like, 1701. I was like, damn, like, what is it? So that makes it really easy. So go to 1701. Just type in 1701 barbecue. I mean, it'll literally take you to 1701 Calder Avenue. I did not know that was y'all's address.
That's it, man. We're incredibly creative when it comes to
names. Yeah. Jesus, but y'all have some dope-ass shit. The koozies are legit.
Yeah.
The hats are nice. You can buy the barbecue sauce here. I mean, you can buy beer while you're sitting here eating some good freaking barbecue, man. Y'all are killing it for sure. And I'm glad I finally got to have you on, Travis. Jake, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to be seeing y'all a lot more, I'm sure, especially because I'm going to start coming in here.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to start becoming one of those regulars. Be like, oh, God, he's back. And he's literally just wanting a tub of the potato salad.
We can sell it, man. We can sell it by the pan.
But, man, I do appreciate it, Travis, Jake, Dre. Glad he was on. we're gonna do this again. We're gonna have Blue on, and we'll just next time we'll just be more just bullshit and just storytelling. If you got anything funny to say, but I'm glad we got to hit. You know, how'd y'all start? Your process of the meat. Mitch did a good job on that, and you know, just going from here.
Absolutely,
So,
man.
we appreciate it, and thank y'all very much.
See you guys.